My guest is Richard Kaczor, a CPA with 25 years of experience. Welcome to Stanley's New America.
Welcome.
Millions of Americans have already received two stimulus checks. Are they taxable?
No, they are not. Intention of those stimulus checks was to help the citizen, and government helped them first by distributing them, and second by not taxing them, and that's a lot of big help from government.
Some people who have not received one or both checks might be asking themselves the question, can I still get the stimulus check?
Yes, it is possible, and the best way is to file the 2020 tax returns. That is for people who didn't file, people who moved, people who didn't provide their account numbers, and for any other reason. When the people file 2020, the government and our Internal Revenue Service will process tax return, and if they qualify for it, they will get it. And most people qualify for it.
What are the major changes in the tax law this year?
Well, the subject is very, very wide. I'm just going to mention a couple. First of all, there's what is called inflation-adjusted tax brackets changes. That means that if someone earned more money, so to avoid to get to the higher tax bracket, they will stay the same because the deductions and tax breaks are being adjusted for inflation. The second major thing is that if someone pull money out from retirement account because of the COVID, they have three choices. First of all, they don't have to pay the penalty. Second, they could pay the taxes over a period of 3 years. And a third, if they are able to repay it within 3 years, they don't have to pay any taxes on it. So there's a very important, very big help from government to help taxpayers to survive a situation that we have right now. As for that's for individual side. For business, there's a lot of the tax breaks. There used to be, and they're still. It's called bonus depreciation. So if someone purchases equipment, or there's a mileage rate 57.5 for people who use the car for the business. So that the highlights of major tax break. But generally, there's not a lot of the changes as much as before, because just 2 years ago, President Trump signed a new tax law. So it's generally the same law, except that pandemic corrections which allow people to take the IRA, and the stimulus are not taxable.
Democrats in Congress are trying to approve a higher child tax credit. What can you say about it?
Well, there's a good idea, and I read an article about it, and there's a pro and cons. Pro, the child tax credit is a very big help for the families, no doubt about it. There are the people who are negative about it, that sometimes that higher deduction for children encourages or discourages people to work. And that's the issue they struggle. And very likely there will be a change, and we need to see what the government decides to do. And they are trying to help families, and this is already $2,000 for each child under 17. So let's see what happens.
From what I read, they're planning to not only increase the tax credit to $3,000 or $3,600 based on the income, but also, instead of giving it as a lump sum, to pay it on a monthly basis.
Stan, you see, I really appreciate, and all people are appreciating help from government. But we need to remember, we need to be responsible fiscally, and we need to have their own budget and pay their own bills. So it's nice that the government wants to help us. That's good, but I believe that we need to get our stuff together and look for solutions how we can improve, because government cannot save us. It's not the role of government. It's good that it's helping us, insurance, ACA, and now child tax credit. But at the end of the day, That's our responsibility if a decision if we decided to have children, and if we are, and of course we need to have a jobs and be financially responsible. And for people who don't have children, they also need to balance the budget. And as much as stimulus checks is appreciated, and I did receive it, and I really appreciate that, it helped me too a little bit. On the other hand, I realized that we cannot fall for dependency on the government, because government cannot sustain these programs respectfully. It's not their role. It's the same with unemployment. It's good that it's helping us. I do remember 20 years ago, 25 years ago, I was unemployed for a year and a half when I was going to school, and I followed the law, and I found employment. I was going to school. I wanted to change my life, and that's how I became the CPA. But out of 7 years, I think I collect unemployment for a year, some couple months. So my mother helped me. I took the loans, and for other people who have a job, so maybe they have to find the jobs and stand on their own feet.
Mhm.
Again, government it's good and appreciative to have a help from government, but we need to be responsible and self-sustaining.
How can we save on taxes?
That's a very good point. The idea is that right now the major way to save on taxes is to create their own retirement account. Government gives between 10 to 20 to 30% to help to people to save on retirement. So, for example, if someone puts let's say $6,000 to retirement account, government can give from $1,000 to $2,000, and that's a lot of money.
Is there an inflation clause?
When you invest the money, then how you catch up with inflation. There's one. The second, usually they increase the 6,000. I don't know when they're gonna increase again, but it used to be 2,000. There was a 4,000. Now there's a 6,000. For people over 50, it's 7,000. So I'm sure they're gonna increase deduction or increase contribution. But where we invest, that's a very good question, and that's how we become financially responsible. Fiscally responsible by saving right now, so when we retire we have money, and government is encouraging us by saying, hey, we give you the tax break, we give you a little bit, and just save and create your own reality and financial stability.
Are there any other ways to build a solid retirement fund?
It depends what some people are familiar with the stock market, some people are familiar with the rentals, some people are very conservative, invest in gold,
Yeah.
or precious metals,
Yeah.
diamonds. So we need to create a budget. I think the answer is we need to create a budget which address the current needs and the future needs. And we need to create the budget, define it, write it, create the goals, short term, medium term, and a long term, and go after them and create them, and be fiscally responsible. And of course, we hope for better, and work on to change our reality by everyday working.
There is a new round of the so-called PPP loans for small businesses affected by the pandemic. How do they work?
Well, the major difference between both of them is that before, if you were affected by pandemic, you could apply. Right now, if you were affected and your income dropped at least 25% or more in any quarter compared to 19,
Okay.
that's the major issue.
Mhm.
So if someone really got affected because of that, they can qualify for PPP loan, and then they will qualify for forgiveness, assuming that they spend money on the payroll, rent, and other stuff. And that's a very welcome and very helpful thing. And hopefully the pandemic will get over, so we can go back to our business and start to have a better economy.
Thank you, Richard. Great to have you on the program.
Thank you, Stan, and all the best. And God bless.